And welcome back to Bayou Time. I'm Martin Folse, and on this segment, I'm going to talk a little bit because I'm hearing horror stories about what is taking place in our parishes. And when I say that, so many good stories. We've gone out there, so many people helping and making a difference, volunteers coming in from outside the parish, people donating items that are in need at some of the shelters so they can distribute to people living in tents and other aspects of this storm. The governments are going out of their way to jump over state contracts and get things done, which is quite extraordinary. I've been around for many storms and I haven't seen that. So I've seen parish officials really jumping over barriers to get things done. But what I want to talk to you about today, and we are diving into it, I did a post on my Facebook, which you all saw, about anyone knowing anyone who is gouging on prices or raising prices during this time. I want you to messenger me on Facebook. I was shocked at the amount of messages I got. I was shocked at the amount of people in the apartment complex business who allegedly, and I say allegedly because I'm still looking in to all the parameters, I'm starting to make phone calls, but when you get so many people saying that one complex did a certain thing, then chances are they're not all lying. And the fact that people have been displaced or put out on the street or moved during these times, to me, is evil. I gotta say it, because it seems to me that we're given excuses to have them moved. Then the tenant 3 or 4 days later brings people in and charges them a lot more money. We're looking into all of these aspects. How can somebody put people on the street at this time when they know, and you're watching, some of you are watching, you know that you did it strictly out of greed, and that is appalling to me. And in days to come, I'm going to be calling you. I have a list of people to call. I'll be working with my legal to call you and find out why you did it. And if you just tell me, well, I'm a businessman and I want to make more money, that's a fair answer. But it's also fair for us to let our viewers know that that's why you did it. So have a good reason when I call, because what I'm hearing out there is pretty much unbelievable in some of the aspects of it. The other thing I want to talk to you about tonight is the insurance business. We have a lot of good agents. We have a lot of good agents who work for the big insurance companies. But I'll be honest, I spent well over 3 hours last week with insurance companies, with adjusters. The agents I have are perfect. They've done a great job. I've been with them for many, many years. But the adjusters that some of these big companies are assigning are not qualified. On 2 of my insurance meetings, I've had unqualified adjusters come by, waste all my time, only to have the company call back and say, they didn't do a good job, we need to send somebody else. Now, this is not to aim any negative spirit towards the agents. Some of them have paid you off, some of them have made you whole, some of them are really busting their butts to make sure that you get what you signed up for. It's when they pass it on that we have a problem. And the problem is we now know that some of these national companies who advertise, seems like every second on football and basketball games, have laid off a lot of people in the business only to get this catastrophe. And it seems to me that they're dragging their feet. I mean, when you make a call and they tell you, let's just pick a number. Mr. Joe, we have assessed your damage at $50,000. Your deductible is $10,000. Therefore, we owe you $40,000, but we're going to send you a check for $10,000 in the meantime. Are you kidding me? You've just told the person you owe them $50,000 minus the deductible, so send them a check for $40,000. It's ridiculous what some of these insurance companies are doing to the ones that have paid the premiums all these years. FEMA, I'm hearing some better things about FEMA. They've been moving a little bit. They're not perfect. Trust me, we beat up on FEMA quite a bit. But they are starting to move. I think they got the message now. And there are some people in the FEMA organization who are really doing a good job. It's when it gets to the national level that they suck. I mean, they really suck. It's been bad for a long time. It hasn't gotten better, but I think they're listening to people on the ground here. In the state level, under the governor, has done a pretty good job. I got to give them some kudos. So, with that said, we're going to start calling, and I'm going to start asking people on camera, people that are gouging others, we're going to make them accountable. And the private sector is harder for me to get to than the public sector because there's more limitations and more legalities. So I got to get cleared with attorneys to do that, but I will ask the question. So it's just appalling at some of the things that have taken place during this storm, and we're going to hold people accountable. And if you're watching and if you're gouging, you might want to reconsider. Here's the shot over the bow. Change your methods. We're watching you. We'll be right back.